Welcome back to Broadly. Yes! Everyone's favorite matchup. Let me introduce to you in the top right-hand corner of Oxide, Don. And in the bottom left, from the Smorio clan, the blue Terran player, it's Ardrith. I think I recognize that name. I'm not sure why, but that doesn't mean he can't be a true hero, as determined by our good friend Larry, judging this one worthy. TVT, I already got a call mid down as I expect to settle in. Even at the end of the day, Ardrith showing us he knows he wants to build a reactor. He knows he wants to build an add-on. Like, why do pro players leave that barracks a half step back? Well, you gotta slap your tech lab down somewhere. And guess what? The Terrans never developed the technology except to put add-ons on the bottom right side, or like the right side of the barracks or factory. Turning it around, don't be ridiculous. We can fly, yes, fine. But turning the barracks around, don't be ridiculous. Come on. Wow. I can't believe people would even suggest such a thing. It does look like quite a mere matchup. As both sides, neither side scouting, both players in their inimitable wisdom going for a 1-Rax expand into reactor. Both these players so confident in their build that they won't have a unit for several minutes. Now, if there happened to be a barracks that built a Reaper, would they die? Probably not, because that would require Reaper micro, and I don't see Clem in the game. But definitely, I don't know if they're drinking from the same keg of Terran builds as Terrans do, or if this is just independently some sort of parallel evolution of these players, but it's kind of beautiful. A bunker at the front. Okay, Don, don't fail me now. The only split so far has been the bunker at the front. We got a tech lab on the Rex. We got a starport on the way for our Smorio zone. It's gonna be a siege tank. Now this is when you place your bets. When will be not just at this point. I want you to bet with yourself. I don't know. Tasty treat. Like, a Smorio. And if you're right, well, make yourself a Smorio. I don't know how you go about that. It sounds like a whole effort. But, will the first scouting be via scan? And then, secondary question, when will the first unit die? Because I think the first one's kind of a gimme. But, like, will it be before 10 minutes? Will it be after? I think our overall record is about 13. But neither side has actually confirmed that the other player is not AFK. Like, aside from a slight GLHF, they could have they could have floated to the corner or built their base where, like, we don't know. Of course, we know, with the beauty of being able to spectate here. But neither of these players has scouted not only to the other side of the map, but down their ramp, because the map is dark and full of Terrans, as we know. Home Depot coming together. Could it be Battlecruisers? Did he forget the fusion core? I have to assume it's going to be Battlecruisers, because why wouldn't it? As you know, Battlecruisers are where all roads eventually lead. Ardrith, on the other hand, has all the parts of a 3-1-1 build, 3 barracks, factory starport with a reactor. Not quite in the order you'd usually see it, but it's kind of coming together. Meanwhile, Don, on the other hand, knows where he wants to go. No detours. No shortcut. Well, maybe some shortcuts. The fusion core is on the way. As it does appear, we are heading directly, the express lane, the Autobahn, to Battlecruisers. Whereas on the other side, Ardrith is putting together the makings of a biological well, he's building a Viking. He does have Marines, +1 on the way. Oh, Don! Now, if I had to guess which player would be getting stim first in this scenario, I probably would have guessed wrong, but here we are. As both sides are slowly filling in the whole tech tree. An armory and another engineering bay on the way. Ardrith gonna add on, just up the turrets per minute, the TPM, the stat that defines and inspires Terran players everywhere. Meanwhile, Yamato Cannon alongside Stimpack, alongside oh, there it is. There's our first scouting. A scan, but a counters. Wait, no. He also scans the natural. Ardrith, are you gonna let that scan go unanswered? Ardrith, wake up! Ardrith was looking at the Prima strategy guide. All right, Ardrith. He may not have noticed if he was nose deep. That he did get scanned, but so Don at just under 7 minutes will confirm Ardrith is indeed not AFK. Both of them passing 100 supply in a relatively timely manner. Meanwhile, the Battlecruiser's just kind of hanging out. Combat shields on the way. Just armies strewn throughout. He's going to transfer SCVs back to the main, which is a surprisingly meticulous move out of Don. Meanwhile, Marines guarding their posts diligently. We're reaching towards the 8-minute mark. Now, Ardrith is getting close to stim combat. Well, he's gonna get his gas. Because if there's one thing you need when you're making Marines, is combat shield. And he's got that, so that's good. Unrelated. The upgrades right now, Stim and Yamato Cannon versus combat shields and +1. Of course, that would be assuming they fight. So far, as both players are like a peacock splaying out their feathers, showing how wide their tech tree, not just one, not just two, but can I get 3 armories? Come on down. I've got an armory to sell you. Meanwhile, it looks like Don, with Yamato, understanding the potential value of the Battlecruisers, will slip around, taking the scenic route to the back, where, unfortunately for him, well, maybe fortunately, Vikings are already waiting, but it looks like blood or bolts will spill before even the 10-minute mark. Essentially a rush cheese out of Don. How does he live? How does he sleep at night? Probably very soundly, with a lot of snoring. But here we are. The depot. Oh, he has to manually click on things to stop the Battlecruisers from firing, because otherwise they fire at all times. The only time they don't fire is when he's microwing. Just for reference. Well, the stim comes through. SCVs will die. 9 minutes in. Tactical jump is online. He jumps home. Racking up 3 SCVs. 2 Vikings. 6 Marines. 2 missile turrets. And 1 supply depot. And losing nothing in return. Well, the cost of repairing those battlecruisers, while repair is only 1/4 of the cost of building, is not that cheap. So, Don is back. Battlecruiser number 4. In fact, the battlecruiser, it's just like a... Essentially, this is just a daily charter route here, alright? The battlecruisers will commute approximately every 60 seconds to this location. Go home, be repaired, and the cycle continues. Alright? Alright, battlecruiser number 5. The armory, half gone. And battlecruiser number 5 might be the one to finish it off. That means +2 mech weapons will be marginally delayed. The battlecruiser fighting the Marines fighting back with great strength. This battlecruiser did explore the possibility of just like flying away. So pretty advanced strategy there from Don, though it does look like he had a bit of a Selecto army action going on. And then he finds the 3rd. The SCV's entirely undefended. The laser batteries, the tanks, really wishing they could get involved, but unfortunately, Ardrith microing his heart out. The battlecruiser jumps away far before the Marine can get involved, and so far, Don playing a perfect game. 2,000 minerals, 250 gas. For nothing. Those battlecruisers, yeah, sure. The paint got a little scratched. They had to replace a bit of the, like maybe the front bumper or something from running in the medevacs. A couple bullet holes. Nothing they haven't dealt with before. But Ardrith has had enough. He will stim to counter those rocks. He will strike back with a vengeance and a fury. And patience is also very important when striking. Because you can never be too careful. High-sec auto-tracking and 111 armories. The SCVs will be sent home after valiantly helping take down those rocks. A scan from somebody. A scan from Ardrith. This base will be cancelled. Suddenly. Don has now lost. Don has been made to bleed his own blood. And no one makes him do that. Battlecruiser kind of didn't realize that this road was closed for today. But it's 2-2 Marines against unupgraded battlecruisers. The standoff continues. He's gonna run in. There are some tanks sieged, so this is maybe a bit of a questionable decision. Ardrith confidently stims in, and it doesn't go great. He boosts away. Medevac's probably wondering, like, if we could have figured that out a little beforehand, but a disaster for Ardrith, as those Marines not quite as effective as he may have hoped. He does end up losing now 43 of them. And that means it's Don's turn. The chess boxing match continues. This time Vikings added in, but a few Marines on the ground. A battlecruiser falls, the 2nd. The target fire was there. The upgrades are good for Ardrith. The rest of the cruisers jump away, and guess who's left behind? The Marines. Left in pieces on the battlefield on both sides. Oh. The rocks exist. Over 100 Marines. 69. Not so nice for Ardrith. 52 for Don, making the majority of the Marines they've produced so far. It must be nice for the medevacs to boost and for the battlecruisers to tactical jump. Also, why is it tactical jump? Like, why isn't it just regular jump? Like, you don't have to sell me on it. We're already paying 400 minerals and 300 gas for the damn battlecruiser. Like, you can't just slap tactical. Just call it like quantum jump or something. Whatever. Like, we're already buying the battlecruiser. You don't have to pretty up the terms. Come on. contractors. So, 12 a full dozen medevacs. The Marines will step in towards what we'll call the third. There is building armor, but those are heavily upgraded Marines. Unfortunately, the SCVs get to the repair. The planetary fortress goes down, but the battlecruisers are laying into the anti-air. The Vikings not involved. Marines on both sides being slaughtered in the dozens. And at the end of the day, it's hard to tell what's going on underneath, but pretty soon there won't be much. The Vikings now being hit. The Vikings doing quite well, because right now, actually no. There are no upgrades for the Vikings. They just do decent damage to battlecruisers. But +2 mech, +2 everything. Well, +2 attack everything coming up for Ardrith. It's a little confusing. You're not really used to seeing exactly those type of upgrades, but... So, at the end of the day, how many? 93 Marines, 5 battlecruisers, 8,700, 1,800 lost. We're done. 10k on the dot. 2,200 for Ardrith. 112 Marines in there. We are no closer to deciding a victor of this match. Now that you've made it this far, we're 16 minutes in. Smash that like button. Subscribe. Thank Larry. Yes, the Larry. For judging this one worthy of your eyes and your ears and your heart and your soul. Because I have a sneaking suspicion. I don't know how it ends. Alright, we make a point of that. But I don't think we're very close. I've seen a few dozen of these games before. And Ardrith has yet to even build a fusion core, so there's no way we're close to the conclusion. Ardrith has made a sacrifice, as Odin demands. In order to call Thor's into action, we must have blood. And Ardrith sends his Vikings to the gods, and the battlecruisers will accept their sacrifice and rejoice. Very canonically... Okay, well, you know who loses this battle? Marines. At the end of the day, it's not the medevacs, it's not the battlecruisers, it's not even usually the Vikings. The Marines, the grunts on the ground. We're told they're fighting for freedom or liberty or lower taxes or whatever they told them on Marine Facebook. And they end up dead. Okay? And whose fault is that? The Zerg and the Protoss, obviously. So you must elect me, Winter, as the supreme overlord of all Starcraft, and I will save you from the evil aliens. Like and subscribe. The battlecruisers this time, the Thor's in high impact mode, a little late into the fight, blasting through, he jumps! A bold jump into the turrets, high sec auto tracking and building armor done, the turrets around, not gonna be enough to stop this. Yamato's blast through, but he is on cooldown. There are just some armories around. Yes. 5 Thors and battle, because you know if your opponent went battlecruisers, it wouldn't be fair to also go battlecruisers. Like you gotta think about. Usually we don't show at the pick ban phase of the match when each player chooses their unit that they're allowed to use. That is why obviously Don is not building any Vikings, and Ardrith isn't building battlecruisers, as you know. $333 on the way. It looks like we're eventually going to end up at maxed out upgrades. We're still missing ship weapons. Not that it's going to become relevant. Vehicle plating level 2 coming up for Ardrith. Going to be very helpful against those battlecruisers. They fire a lot of low energy lasers and one very high energy laser. But that one is pretty tough to deal with except by just surviving it or taking out the battlecruisers beforehand. It does take 2 Yamato cannons to take out a Thor. And that is... Are those like the collect... I'm pretty sure... Are those the Wings of Liberty collectors? I don't know what skin that is. It looks really sick, though. So, of course, he's going to use the Thors. That was... Though, the Battlecruisers probably look cool as well. I'm not sure what skin that is. But more importantly, here come the Battlecruisers. Yamato Cannon is online, but he's going to fight them more conventionally. The Yamato, the Battlecruisers, Vikings, Marines. Another bloody battle. All the Marines die. Exactly 181 Marines have died. On both sides. Exactly. Blood for blood. And the battle continues. A dozen Battlecruisers, 9 Thors, 21 Vikings. It's just beautiful how the Marines get thrown into the fray, despite both players obviously going for a more advanced mechanical composition. Those gears are lubricated with the incredibly, the blood of dozens and hundreds of Marines before them, clearing the way. I was trying to think of a way to not make that sound gross, but it just sounded tragic. Oh, what a beautiful scan by Don. Calls his forces into action, decides to avoid the main brunt. Oh, a beautiful scan probably because there's a sensor tower here. Don using his resources to great effect. he checked. Well done. Don using the minimap DLC. Very advanced strategy. Credit to him. He must have bought that along with his sick Battlecruiser skin. Alright, Battlecruiser's trying to micro away from the Vikings. Unfortunately, the Vikings do have more range, but they do fly over Marines. So this battle, in the streets, over the rocks, by the Predator, the Battlecruiser's conscientious objectors, they turn their metaphorical backs. And then decide to fight into the Thors, but the Thors, well, and that, of course, typical BC move, jump away. 239 Marines now obliterated by Ardrith. Don's starting to slip when it comes to supply and production, as we not quickly, not easily, but we grind our way towards mining out of this map. We're still a long way off with many bases on both sides, pretty fresh on the minerals, but the times of plenty are nearing an end. As both players, it looks like Ardrith may even consider Battlecruisers. That's how desperate. He will break the Great Compact. Well, but not before more and more Vikings. Well, they'll tank the damage. Don not repairing quite in. It's a little late for that. That's a lot of firepower to deal with. The SCV is left isolated, and they will be slaughtered. But a tactical strike team. Yes, of course. A tactical strike team of Battlecruisers. The dynamic duo. And then another team jumps in. The Battle Buddy system in full effect. And then everyone else. Alright, fine, it's fine. Whatever. Okay, I'm not sure if they were on cooldown or if that's just procedure, but here we are. The turret knocks down one. Thor's popping out of the factories, creating quite a distraction. The rest of the army coming back home. Don is on cooldown when it comes to those tactical jumps, but the main base was almost as far as it could possibly be. Those Battlecruisers not fully repaired. Yamato Cannon questionably targeted. I think he canceled one, or maybe he killed the Thor. It's unclear. He's having a tough time. He's microing his Battlecruisers, which is really not something they're they're not the most responsive unit, the Flying Laser Bathtub. These two Thors could potentially take out the Battlecruisers. Wait, where did that Yamato come from? The Thor's blasting through. Down to 2 Battlecruisers. How many more Yamatos? No Yamatos. They're fighting heads up. The Thor wins the fight. Meanwhile, oh yeah, there are more Thors. Hello. 23 Battlecruisers have died, and no more grace the field with their presence. 2 tanks on the high ground. He goes into high impact mode for dramatic effect, as it only affects air units. But that does mean more and more Thors will. He goes back into... Nope, that's... Oh. Oh, yeah, that's false advertising. Oh, that's rough. So this fight, the Thor will survive, but there can only be one. And then here comes the rest of the army. And suddenly, Ardrith, upon seeing that army of Marines and tanks, will make sure he does not lack anti-air. The supply is dipping drastically on both sides. Ardrith losing 3,000 more minerals and gas. But Don is struggling economically. Where are we going? Where are we now? Vikings and Thors. The thing is, we rolled all the way back around to Marines and tanks. That choke point of turrets, I neglected to see the genius. Oh no, the Thor's trying to get up close and personal with the tanks. Taking a lot of damage. The Marines caught between Thors, Vikings, and a planetary. Get a Thor grinding through. It's so close. Reinforcements have arrived. Another platoon. SCVs. 300 Marines. And we're far from the end of it. Thor's obliterating them. The shots they fire are larger than the Marines. But those hammers only work so fast. The planetary taking a huge bite. The Thor's taking an even larger one. They finish the plate. They open the way. An orbital will float on over. The entire third base mined out. Don, some of the SCVs on the right side survived with that Battlecruiser strike team. As Don scratches up enough minerals, he takes out a loan and finds a few hundred more to build a Battlecruiser. I would argue, oh, speaking of Battlecruisers, in this base, there's not that many units left for either side. No, there's not that many minerals left on the map. It still could go either way. It's unclear, because remember, as we so often, for better or worse, have to mention, the way to win a game of Starcraft is to kill all of your opponent's buildings. Okay? Alright. So, with that in mind, and Terran's a particular wrinkle, their buildings fly. All the Thors trying to close the distance. Thors struggle with the whole flying thing. There's a few reserve Marines in the bunker. A full energy orbital being targeted. Not that it's a super high priority right now, I would argue, but that building armor really paying off. The Thors. They neglected to see this one coming. The Battlecruisers jump away, maybe out of vision. I'm not 100% sure he noticed. But there's a scan. I have no idea who's scanning who. Yeah, I don't know. I did not catch this. Somebody scanned. I'm pretty sure it was Ardrith. How many orbitals are there? There are 3 orbitals. It could have been anyone. I have no idea. The unit's lost. Don still maintaining the cost efficiency trend he set in the early game, though. Has not been adhering to it particularly strictly. Marines being rebuilt. A huge amount of mules dropped across the board. Ardrith with half a dozen mules. Going up to 2,800 minerals a minute, but oh my god, the armies! We're fighting again! It's unclear who comes out on top of this. The problem is the Thors are not in high impact mode, so they don't have that extra anti-air, but the Battlecruisers back off, leaving once again the Marines on their own. Of course, the tanks in the back gonna help out a whole lot here. The Thors blasting through. Scans, counter scans, triple scans, Vendiah scans. Oh my god, Waya scans. More Thors trickling in. Battlecruisers back for more. Turrets taking them down. Javelin missiles. Vikings, Thors, Odin, please. Jumps away. Can't believe that's all cooldown. Vikings gonna hit the deck. The tank vulnerable. Scan on the high ground. Vikings clean up the tanks. The Marines should be able to clean up the Vikings. The Thors still maintain that Battlecruiser. And once again, it's unclear how this ends. 82, 80, well, Now it's 39 Thors to 24 Battlecruisers. 372 to 220 Marines. A bloodbath. A massacre. A tragedy. But at the end of the day, this base, there are no more minerals and no more gas, but there was a planetary, and now there is not. Drilling claws and smart servos. Smart servos for the transform time on those anti-air guns on top of the Thors might actually be an option. No reason not to be in high impact against a battlecruiser-based army blasting. Unfortunately, splitting his damage so perfectly, he didn't kill a single battlecruiser, but more Thors are here. The supplies are dead even. 103. Upgrades maxed out besides vehicle plating, which is kind of a big deal when it comes to Thors. Ardrith... oh, wait. Don also doesn't have +3 vehicle plating. It died. That was banned in this match. Another orbital down. Don actually does have a few thousand more minerals here, and very importantly, 4,500 more gas. Those SCVs, he's down to 26. Ardrith has about 6 mineral patches left. And that is it. There are more mineral patches. This is a somewhat fresh base. Don still has like 10, 15,000 minerals on his side. We've lost, for reference, 42 to 38. A map very roughly has about 100,000 minerals. Depends on the exact amount of base. But 100,000 is a good baseline, 100 to 120. We rarely get down to this map.
The numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for you.
But who is the question? There are 3 bruised battlecruisers being repaired by 1 overworked and underpaid SCV. Don has less SCVs than he started with. Where once he had orbitals and planetaries, he's down to his main. Suddenly, the fight, he stims. There's no one to heal those Marines, mentally or physically. Emotional damage is almost as much as the Thors can do. And most of the SCVs are here for Ardrith, not that it matters much. The turrets are a real danger to the less than 1 battlecruiser of HP that these battlecruisers have left. High sec auto tracking! Oh my god, a strong gust of wind and these battlecruisers are gone. The Thors are coming. So are the Marines. Oh, it's not an A move! Ardrith! Taking some extra damage, he right-clicks! He might lose a Thor, he might not. The scan! The tank at the high ground! Hell, that was optimistic. The army supplies in favor of Don, but those battle cruisers have not much between them. The Thors get a whiff of them, and they get knocked out of the sky. Ardrith is not mining. Don is not mining. There's a little bit of gas. We're not mining. It could be the final battle. The Thors on the low ground. Battle cruisers are down. Just the ground army. Ardrith forced to back off. The tanks are too much. The main! The main! Wait, whose base? Wait, no! Ardrith, no! The main is floating to where the minerals are. There's only 1 orbital left, and he has 4 minerals in the bank. Ardrith, on the other hand, this was... oh, he stimmed the Marines again. He can't heal them. He has no medevacs. Will it burn? Supplies dead even at 72. It will. There's no one to save it. He has 0 minerals. He's going to burn. And...
it was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
The SCV is leading. He can't repair the Thors. Nobody can repair anything. Don trying to mine again. He dropped all his mules. The boys have been pulled for the last time. The high ground. Only 2 tanks. The SCV is taking some. The Thor is getting caught on the ramp. There's not much left for Ardrith. He's got 4 Thors. And so many Marines ago, this game began. And now Ardrith, left at 37 supply. It seems to have stumbled. But, wait, is there any defense? There's a bunker. Which is like, not nothing. Are we base trading with the amputated stumps left of these armies? 7 SCVs. Don is mining, but he won't be producing anymore. There's a non-zero chance of a draw, as neither of these players can rebuild their base. Ardrith already has a factory in the corner. Ardrith is preparing for the draw. Oh, Ardrith, if he can't win, he's gonna try to make it so he can't lose. It's not... Don still has minerals to mine. I can't believe Ardrith has a factory in the corner. A remarkable and disgusting amount of foresight. Oh my god. But little does he know, Don is mining. Don, who's been pushed off his bases multiple times, still had minerals. Don is going to build another command center. These Marines, there's a planetary. If he's not patient, then the Marines could take a lot of damage here to the planetary. Those Thors. Wow, 2 HP, 28, only 1 Thor in good health here. The planetary getting, oh no, the planetary finding damage. Losing anything to a planetary. The orbital, the last orbital is in flight. The most precarious of all journeys, the main bases, no longer. The last bases, they should be called. 39 to 35 supply. Don is losing all his production. The orbital will be scouted. But what does that mean? Ardrith is using the winter voice pack. So I think we know who sent this one in. But little did he listen. His foresight disgusts me, but also inspires. Little did he know. The Thors are trying to chase an orbital. I haven't seen something this slow since the last Queen push against Void Ray. Sorry, Brenda. A bunker! The bunker! Losing any more Marines! The Marines in autumn colors. The orbital escapes. There are still minerals. He's gonna try to grab up the last. There's 1,000 here, actually, which is not nothing. There's 65, 600. There's a couple thousand. Don getting a little ambitious with the expanding here. For someone who hasn't been mining for parts of this game. Don doesn't have a barracks to build an orbital. By the way. Neither does he have an engineering bay. He does, on the other hand, have enough minerals for 3 command centers. And he is taking out everything in Ardrith's main, not that he had much. The SCV scrounging up the minerals to repair. I don't even think, even at the 1/4 cost, I don't even think he has enough minerals at this base to repair the Thors. But, like, better than having 2 HP, I guess. Don is trying to get unsupply blocked, which is like, we're back to the Dark Age. Both sides have scoured the map where once there was so much. The post-apocalyptic world we're living in. After 108,000 minerals and 36,000 gas spent and lost. Most of it by 300 supply of Thors. 233 Marines, 436 for Don. Don has made Marines, tanks, SCVs, and Battlecruisers. That's it. It's not like Ardrith had much more Oh, don't you do it. Don, there's nothing for you here. There's nowhere left. Oh, wait. 85, 35, 200. We're literally scrounging. Oh, he did have barely enough. A scan! Who knows where? That's an interesting scan. So with the repair on the Thors, this actually, because even though Don has money, he can't heal his Marines. His Marines are perpetually, like, he can barely stim them. It's still 40 minutes. Unclear. Don has built a barracks for the first time this half hour. He's gonna build a factory. We're gonna take it from the top here. Don scouting, but Ardrith has evacuated the base. He realizes he should probably bring half of his buildings with him. Oh, wait. It's gonna be... Ah! It's spotted.
Exhausted. Time to make expand and defensive.
Don looking. Oh my god, it's a fresh base! It's essentially, it's as good as it's gonna get. It's only a day old. Thousands of minerals and the gas almost untouched and good as new. It's free real estate. Ardrith, wait a second. Despite spending almost a base more of resources so far and well over a base of gas, he's building an armory, which is an interesting decision. Does he want +3 plating? Is that really where he's going with this? Which is a very... Oh, but Don scans it. Don pulls another orbital out, awkwardly. Oh, there are minerals up. He doesn't... The Thors can't decide what they want. Another scan. Who's scanning? Oh, those are Ardrith scans! The Vendia scan! It spots the orbit. You could just look where the minerals are at this stage. Oh, I think he caught the edge of the army, is what happened. Oh no, and he might catch a bigger piece. The scan hadn't run out as the army moved through it. The Thors isolating. The Marines will stim for the last time. Don! The Thors, he has to scan through for vision. The damage is split. 2 Thors. They survive. Don, his production exposed. Don is bleeding out. But Don builds a starport. Don't you dare build a fusion core on me, Don. Don is trying to scrape. There's no minerals left, Don. These Thors can be repaired. Not much more than that. The orbital, the barracks, the factory. He's building cloaked banshees. The play. But the Thors are heading slow. Well, there's nothing for them here, so technically... Well, the orbital will draw their fire. Cloaked banshees. Yes, there is an orbital. An orbital that is not too many hits away from dying. There's no engineering bay. The scans have been spent across the board. Don! Just pulling it out. It's not over. For the very first time, Don expands his horizons. Oh my god, the factory's gonna come land to try to build something, and it will scout the starport that is building cloak, and it flies away like, oh my god, I can't believe this is happening. The Thors can easily swat the Banshees out of the sky, assuming they have detection. And there's not that much money left. There's not cloak yet. Oh no, the Banshee! It's in trouble! Get out of there! Oh, he's playing with fire. Oh my god, don't use the high ground. It doesn't work like that. He gets vision! You fool! Wait, there's another Banshee! Cloak is done! Oh, no, wait, it died. Okay, cloak is done. But the orbital burns! That was the last scan. That other Banshee died. He has to repair the orbital, which means he doesn't have much money. The Banshee cloak's a little early. Don, come on, you're killing me. Don, no. He's gonna run out of cloak. He jumped the gun. Oh no. He's navigated the narrow window. I mean, there's gonna be like 6 seconds. But he's gonna run out of energy as he shows up. Don's like, oh no! The Banshee has no cloak! The other Banshee did the same thing! Don, come on! Oh no! Don! He's struggling! You can tell he's not really much of a Banshee user! Oh no! He's never made a Banshee before in his career, and now he's broke! Oh no! Oh! God. Oh, come on, Don. Come on. Oh, gotta go. Souring the game at the end. Come on, Don. Oh, not like this. Not like this. Oh, it wasn't 42 minutes in you had an obligation. It was minute 46 that really just... Oh, Don. It was his. It was his until, unfortunately, the knock at the door saying, Don, I can't believe you lost those goddamn Banshees. This is your mother. You come upstairs and you learn how Banshees work right now. Well, after over 700 Marines, almost 700 Marines, 450 Marines for Don, 27 Battlecruisers, 110,000 minerals, and 32,000 gas. However many buildings, how many floating. We ended there. And unfortunately, because of Don's remarkably convenient time constraints, we'll have to leave it there. Ardrith, the victor, the survivor. Larry, the one who judged this worthy. Like, subscribe, ring the bell if you truly believe, you want to see, and you enjoy the best of the worst here in Bronze League Heroes.